Okay, so let's continue with the demonstration of hash. Reopen the file the way I have opened it up in the first tutorial. Hopefully you know how to do that by now. In case you don't, let me just go ahead and show you real quick. vim first.sh, it's open. Now, go ahead and delete everything in it as I have. You need to be in insert mode and press backspace, and you will just keep on deleting until everything is gone except for the very first line. Re-enter insert mode, and let's continue. So, if you type in hash like this, echo, quotation marks, tra-la-la-la-la-la, hash hash, or just hash, and then type in blah blah blah. Do you believe that this is a commented line? Will the program take this into consideration? You have until I can run the file to figure it out, or just pause it. Yes, it definitely will take it into consideration. This is not a comment line, so keep that in mind. But, for example, if I had something like this, insert. If I didn't have these quotation marks, and do you believe that this is a comment now? Well, yes. See? Tra-la-la-la, but blah blah blah, it remains a comment. Simple enough to understand. Now our next example can be by using hash in order to get certain values out of variables. So let's put it like this. There's a textbook example, again with echo. I will type in name, which will be some sort of a variable, and I will state that variable to be equal to t. I know that I will explain some things. I need to use some more complex things, some more advanced subjects in order to be able to demonstrate the meaning of these simple ones. So don't worry if I don't explain something straight away. As long as you understand for the time being what special characters are how they actually look like, yes, and what are their functions and how can they be used, that's good enough. You don't need to understand everything else that I've done on the screen, because I will explain it in the follow-up tutorials. I will deal with it throughout the course, so don't worry about it. It's just that I have to use certain things in order to be able to demonstrate how special characters work. That is all that there is to it. So I have assigned the value t to the variable name, and now I shall echo out the word not t, name, which is a variable. It's a string which contains the value of t, and I'm using a $sign to print it out here. So the word contains, and now we're going to use a $sign again. We'll use curly brackets, and then we'll use hash name, closed curly bracket, chars. This will effectively give me the number of characters of the word or the string t. Let's have a look. The word t contains 3 chars. Notice that $sign name has been replaced with its value, so t, and the number 3 has replaced this statement here. So this is not a comment. This is a certain value. You're extracting something. Okay then. That's done. We can just leave it as is. No need to delete it. We can delete it in before the next one. Let's just see another one where hash is actually used to convert numbers from one number system to another. So if we're going to use a $sign again, open the parentheses, and then type in 2 hash, I don't know, 111, and then close the parentheses twice again. So this is a binary representation of number 7. We will use this expression, and you see where the hash is, so this is not a comment again, in order to get the decimal representation of number 7. Let's give it a shot. And there you go. Number 7 is represented down below. Our next special character is a semicolon. This is also known as a command separator. It is used to we use it to separate more commands that are more than one command that are on the same line. So how can we illustrate this? Let's just go ahead and delete this as we no longer need it. Again, we shall have some sort of a variable, so we can type in var for variable, and this can be equal. This, by the way, this declaration of a variable that I'm using, var, name, etc., you can type in whatever you want, pretty much. That is completely up to you. You could have written tra-la-la equals, I don't know, number 4. Yep, so there we go. Very simple than that. We shall type in var equals, and that's going to be, I don't know, let's say 10. We're declaring a variable. We're going to declare a variable called var that holds a value of 5. And now we're going to use an if condition to check if n is greater than 0. How shall we do that? Well, we type in if, and then we put a bracket. We shall use these quotation marks, $, var, because we would like to get the value. How would we say greater than? This? How many of you think it's this? No. This is going to be used for redirection. It's dash GT, greater than. Also LT, lesser than. Very simple. So greater than, and we're gonna put some number here. I don't know. Okay, yeah, let's use a 0. Why not? Let's go ahead and close the brackets, and now we can use a semicolon and type in then. Then there was a case where we can do this, but we don't want to do it. We would like to type it in like this. Would like to have it on the same line. For what reason, I have no idea. I'm just using this as an example to actually explain it. I would always put it on the second line anyway. But there are some simpler examples. Let me just go ahead and show this one to you. So these lines are now commented out. They will not be taken into consideration. This is also an important part of commenting things. If you don't want a certain function to be taken into consideration, you comment it out to see how the code will function without it. If I type in echo, hey there, close this, and type in echo again, and say, you there? How do you try to imagine in your head what will happen here? What will be printed out? Just try to figure it out. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter. You've stimulated yourself, you've stimulated your brain to function in that direction. It's still number 7 because I haven't saved the file. So let's go ahead and save the file. Not quit, but save, meaning write the changes to the file. Now let's go ahead and run this again. It says, hey there. And take a look at what's written here. Echo, you there. So we don't want echo to be printed out. This is a command, not something that we wanted to be printed out to the screen. Now take a look at, now compare this change. And here, let me make it a little bit easier for you. I shall run it again, so you have this output in the clear here. And I will enter insert mode. And let's go ahead and do this. Put a semicolon here. You see, even the highlighting has changed. Now let's write the changes and run the code again. Hey, you get something completely different. It says, hey there, you there. I know, right? My sense of typing sentences is awesome, but you get the idea. Now this is no longer part of a single echo. These are 2 separate echo commands, and this will be executed as a command and as opposed to just being a part of the echo statement that's to be printed out to the screen. Simple enough. Hopefully it's simple enough. Okay, so let's remove this line as we no longer need it. And let's uncomment these lines. Okay, so it's then down below we shall type in, actually no, we can do it here as well. Echo, why not var, just echo this. Nah. Yes. So if it is greater, if this condition, because this condition can either evaluate to true or false, it can be greater than 0 or it can be lesser than 0. So this variable here, that has a value of 10, can be greater than 0 or it can be lesser than 0. If it's lesser than 0, this entire statement is false. If it's greater than 0 as the condition claims, then it's true. So if it's greater than, yes. And then we're gonna use another semicolon. Else another semicolon, echo no. Right, sorry, right, syntax error. So where have we made a mistake here? What seems to be the problem? Well, let's take a look at this, because when you make syntax errors in code here, it will usually inform you, well, it should always inform you down here and tell you what it is that is going on. So let's try to read it and let's see what the problem is. It says that the line 5 syntax error near unexpected token semicolon. So line 5, we have 1, 2, 3. What seems to be going on here? Only 3 lines. Why is it reporting the 5th line? Well, let's count them. 1, semicolon. 2, semicolon. 3, semicolon. 5. Where could the mistake be? Let's remove this. Let's try to run it now and see what happens. Syntax error. Else echo no. So what's the problem here? Well, obviously, if we have removed it, if you see how these things follow, take a look at this one and then take a look at this one here. See, they are the same pretty much. It says, if this is greater, then do this. Else, do this. So if we have removed the semicolon here, it would be logical that the semicolon doesn't exist here either. So no big deal. You can just remove it and then write first, syntax error, unexpected end of the file. Well, what do we need to do? We need to end the loop. We need to end the condition with something. So we shall do this. Oops, sorry. Insert mode. Fi at the end. And do this. Right? And there you go. Yes, it is greater than 0. So it prints it out. If we change the value here to -10. Oops. Right. No, it is not greater than 0. Now I hope that I have helped you out a little bit with these things here, with the debugging. You can call it debugging if you wish. The program basically tells you, hey, you have a problem on that line. Hey, I don't understand what this is. The machine is telling you. And then based upon that, based upon the output from the machine, you can correct the code and fix the things that you think that might be wrong or that are improper, something like that, that they don't actually function the way you wanted them to function or the way you have intended them to function in any case. So, bid you farewell, and I hope to see you in the follow-up tutorial.